What's going on, everybody? I just want to do a quick part 2 of that last video that I made, and I just wanted to get a little farther into the magic of it and what bees are and what black magic is, to further this idea, and how people become these different servitors, egregores, and god forms. Now, these things are supposed to be thoughts, and this even goes into the term thought. Like, these people are, they say that hoe over there, and that hoe over there is a hoe. And the hoe is used for digging up the ground. It's an earthly bound spirit. It works on the earth. And a thought form does the same thing. So the term thought, whether you're using it as the Egyptians used it, or thoth, or you're using it in the term used these days for a promiscuous girl, it has the same idea, because what has happened here is people have become the sigil, the servitor, the egregor, and the god forms of shamans. And it's part of their growth process until they're able and capable of manifesting for themselves and using their own mind. And some people don't get it this lifetime. Some people go through this training often. But the spirit is used as those things. So think of it this way too. I'm going to get into what the moon is and how people live their lives right now. Again, there's these people are living out their lives as servitors and egregors, and part of these larger hive minds. And the reason that magic is done at night, it's called black magic, and is done at night, is because the moon is magnetic, and it has to do with the feminine aspects of magic and magnetism. And it's also done at night because it should be done in the dark. This is why they always talk about burning the midnight oil, or using that candle. And that candle is made for the Wiccans. And these Wiccans are they're magicians. Why are they called Wiccans? And why do they always have candles are surrounding them? Well, the candles are made out of beeswax. And that beeswax inside of the candle is a wick. So it's a Wiccan. And that beeswax candle comes from a hive and that hive is a 6-sided hexagram. This is why witches and Wiccan, it's why the words are bound together. They use wicks in a candle to burn the hive. They take the hive and they light the hive on fire. And so they have control over the hive mind through the use of the hive of the honeybees. So a queen bee is the understanding of the control, the mind control of the architect of the hive. And there'll always be hive minds. There's in this plane of existence. But see, what happens is there's always these, as you see these skull and bones, you see these people that a lot of people are upset with, the Rockefellers and all of these people, because they think they're doing something, but they don't know what they're really doing. They're magicians, and they're using talismans, and they're using all sorts of things just to keep people away from the art, because if people were using the art and they didn't know what they were doing, they could cause a lot of harm to this planet. Like much worse than what might be occurring now by some people that got a hold of information that they shouldn't be using. But certainly these people that have, like the Rockefellers, why are they called the Rock? The Dome of the Rock? The Rockefellers, they're from the Rock. Because they're Freemasons. They're Masons, mother, sons, shamans, the mother and the father. The son is the father. So the mother and the father, they're free builders. And they're called the Bilderberg. They're building a Bilderberg. Freemasons, and they're Rockefellers. Well, because they're part of the rock, and that rock is what the Masons use to build something. And they furthermore, they use sigils, they use talismans, idols. That's what do you think a dollar bill is? So they created that the same way everyone else in small scales works magic. But the thing is, whether or not, they don't care if you do magic. They don't care if you understand this information. It's out there that, oh, these people are, you find all sorts of people that are crabs in a bucket that, don't use this, don't do that, because they're not using it. They don't know how to use it. It's, that's part of even the servitors that these larger people created. So they just serve a purpose just to, keep people off of the trail. So if they're not worthy of using the knowledge, then they won't even attempt it. But truly, as you get into it, they want you. If you think that God, the highest form, is a good God, and the idea of whatever you think God is, if you think that there is something beneficial and there's something in reality about growth and becoming more than you are, then you have to think that all of these things are just illusory things that keep you away from the knowledge of becoming the highest form of yourself. Because if during your youth, during your younger years, if you were able to have the power that you have in your older days, imagine all the messes you would have made. Imagine all of the silly things that you would have done. You could have caused a lot of harm. But then as soon as you have a foundation, as soon as you're founded in something, then the use of the magic becomes well different. And then you can see what's behind the curtains. And it's all illusion. All of the things that they're doing on TV, all of the things that you think are happening, all of the stories you read, all of the movies you watch, they're just there as fear-based propaganda to keep people away from working with magic, because you can do much harm with magic. So it keeps people away. And once again, it's self-regulating. But as we get back to what this black magic is and why it's done at night, using the moon in the darkness, is because if someone, and this is why even people's books, their grimoires are kept under lock and key. They're probably in bank vaults. They're probably in different places. Because if someone with ill means, if someone had ill intentions, were able to read that a person that was uneducated, a person that didn't understand how the magic worked, they might try to do something to get in the way of that magic, to get in the way of those words, to get in the way of that plan of a magician. So that this is why these symbols are written, so no one knows what they mean, because you can't know. And they're put in books and put in places that you won't find them, because this is why it's done at night. And now as we see this, the revealing is the work is being shown during the day, so everybody can start to do it, because these people that are the highest form of magic, they're very aware of the spiritual realm. They're very aware that they're immortal, so that they're here playing. They're having fun here, just as you should. But it's also a training ground. Until you get grounded, literally ground yourself out into the earth and into the understanding and the wisdom. So this is why whenever you begin making your sigils and your different forms and your symbols, and you start writing your grimoire or whatever you might be doing, it's best to be done in, it's for you. This is why people always have their little key on their diary. And so your diary, this has to do with writing down your dreams, and then getting into your dreams and remembering your dreams, and it's all works together. The blackness of the night when you're sleeping. And there's another reason, is because you want to, before you go to bed at night, because it's a different thing that's happening, the energy that happens at night when you sleep or when you're writing something, well, what you do is you go into that subconscious state. It's all of the other earlier videos I did. You go into the delta and the theta realms, and you actually can produce that writing that you had. You can see it, you can participate with it, and then live it out the next day. And the reason you do it at night is because the power of the moon, and because it's dark. And so this has everything to do with why the beeswax is used. It's all tied together. And so you do it at night, and then you're able to get into a state. If you think of sleep as meditation, then it changes the whole way you think of the game, the whole entire thing. Because as you are more aware and you become lucid in your dreams, you don't sleep. There's no delta sleep. There's less delta sleep, and you only choose to go into delta sleep once in a while to do bodily healing. And now if you get into even what the the pharaohs were doing, and how people were not sleeping. They even when they were supposedly sleeping, they were in just deep meditation, and they were creating something there so that they were able to walk around it in this life. Or in fact, maybe they were living other lives in different vibrations and just used the cave to hang out here in this realm. But certainly right now, with all of the revealing of the spirits from above and the demonic or the demon world from below coming to the surface, people are able to see and start to identify what this magic is, so they can create their own universe. Because you live forever, you're immortal, and the only idea that you have to do is you have to know that, and it has to work into your head. And so I give these solutions on how for that to happen, because your memory is directly and absolutely correlated between water and light. It's called mem-ori, meaning water and light. And so if you put light into water, water has in and of itself memory, and that light goes into water, you can ionize the water and create something. So if this happens in your head, you're able to access different parts of your brain and access and hold on to memory and pull it through either a sleep, through a dream, or which people might consider death, because it doesn't really occur. You just change the form that you're in. So I think that's about everything I need to say here. And again, it's just, remember this, there are people out here that during this whole thing, they're going to be servitors, there's going to be egregores, there's going to be all of these different kinds of people that work within organizations, that work out in public, that they can't unlock parts of their brain yet. It's like Morpheus said, there's some people you just can't it's not their lifetime. You can't unlock them from the matrix. And it would be terribly hard to do, because of the process of unlocking and going, no, everything you know is this just there as an illusion, and now you have to create something. You can't get people to accept that. It's profoundly difficult. I can look at my path and how old I am and how many years it took me and how much time I've put into it in this lifetime. I couldn't even imagine trying to help somebody that started at this age. It's impossible. It's a fool's task. But if you're listening to me now, then you're pretty close. And there's things that you can do to just, here, wake up, here it is. Did you get the message? Here it is. You can puppeteer things. Don't worry about this. All of these people are going to the same place. It's that Martin Luther King, when he said he has a dream. Yeah, he had a dream. And he was manifesting it, and he says, he's going to get to the top of the mountain, but some of y'all might not get there, and that's exactly what he's talking about. It's magic. It's all a big show, and you can be in on it. You can participate, and then when you wake up in the next stream, you'll see fractions and fragments of people here, and it's all, the whole system is redundified. And this is your opportunity. Your opportunity to start using your mind in the proper way, to use a pen. See, a pen is made out of, or a pencil, it's made out of wood with lead in it. Remember this. And that lead comes from, the wood comes from the tree. It's like you have a wand, and that wand comes from the tree. It's very closely related, the pencil and the wand. In fact, it is. But remember, prior to picking up that pencil from that papacy, it was all in your mind. You created this. This is just a tool. And the beeswax, that's another tool. It's allegorical, and it's also a physical thing. It actually does hold on to a hexagram, to a hex. And you burn it, and you're able to use that light to light up the evening, to where Eve is. This goes back to the period, and the woman having a period, and the evening, and this goes into all of the understandings of what a sentence is, and that period at the end of the sentence, and the moon that pulls a woman's period every month as they link up with the moon. So start to use the nighttime with purpose, not just to rest, not to go to sleep and go into delta. Start practicing and different breathing patterns that I've done in other videos, and maybe I'll do a new one soon. And I'll take all of my old videos and I'll make them a little cleaner and neater for everyone. But you can obviously, I have 150 videos now. You can search through these things, and all of the gems are there. All of the nuggets are there. Everything you need to know. So I hope this was enjoyable for you guys. Talk to y'all soon.